All right, so far I have a few objects on here. 1, 2, 3, 4 objects wedged together. I'm going to add another one. I'm going to incorporate a sideways pyramid, and this will be a square pyramid, square-like, and the pyramid's going to be facing in this direction. So I just did a quick little sketch to see how this is going to work out, and basically the pyramid itself is going to be wedged on this little corner here, kind of coming through, and it took me a little, I had to sit with it for a while to kind of figure this out, and I finally figured it out. So that's basically what's happening. And what I need to draw first is this back rectangle, or actually it's somewhat of a parallelogram, but that would be the back of the this guy, cube, or pyramid. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw that pyramid, and I'm going to locate it right here. And if you look here, you can put it anywhere you want, and then its location is going to dictate how it can go through another form. So I'm just going to throw mine right here. But the first thing, I have to make sure that my line is parallel. So I'm going to put a line right here. And I'm going to use the existing line. Slide it up. Slid on me. If it ever slides on you, you got to redo it. Just stop what you're doing and reset up the slider. All right, so I'm going to put this line right in here. You can see it's a dark line, so I can see it. And again, there's a lot of lines here, so it's going to get confusing. And I'm going to put a couple vertical lines in. And I'm going to put one here, and I'll put one here. The other thing I was considering, I said, oh, I could make a little tiny form on top of this. But when I'm filling this in, I kind of want to work large. I can always put smaller forms on top of these things. I can put a sphere here. I can put another sphere there. You can always add smaller forms on top of things. But if you have a little small form in the back, you can't cover it with anything larger. So you want to work large to small. All right, so I'm going to put a vertical line here, and I'm just trying to find, I forget my glasses. I have to stand up for a second because I can't see what I'm doing. So vertical line. Vertical line. I think I said I wanted to end it about right there. So I'm going to put a diagonal line in there, but I can't just eye it because it's never going to work. It's never going to look right. You have to use an existing line that you know is correct. Slide it up. All right. This shape will now dictate everything else. And I'm going to use this red, actually I'm going to use this light blue line so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cross my corners, and this finds my center. Once I find my center, I mark it, okay? I'm going to take this light blue line. That's why I'm using this, because it's light and it doesn't really compete with too much with anything. But I'm going to draw a line. This is the center core of the pyramid. As imagine drilling a hole from the center core of the bottom of the pyramid all the way up through the top of the point. It's going to be a straight line, so it's going to be parallel to this line. So I have to make a line parallel, and I have to stand up. Okay, got it. And I can slide it down, and right where that point is, I'm just going to draw a straight line out. I don't know how long I want to make it, but I have it that long right now. I might even extend it a little bit more, because however long you make it is going to be the end of the form. So I'm gonna put a point right here. That's gonna be the end of the point. If I feel like shortening it later, I will, but for now, this is what I'm gonna go with. Now I'm gonna go back to my orange. And what I'm gonna do is connect this point to all 4 corners of the original parallelogram shape that I made. Okay, and I'm going to put one right here. So you can see this pyramid coming on an angle down. Now, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where's a good place to create this line that goes over, because once that line hits this line, it's going to do a diagonal line, and this diagonal line should point to this point. I didn't really do a good job at making that diagonal line go to this point. It should do something like that. So I'm going to hope this looks right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from here all the way back here. It's going to go to the point, and then it's going to come out about right there. And that should be enough. So once I draw this in, you'll understand it. It will make sense. And there's a million ways to wedge something like this. I just thought of another one. Sorry, I'm thinking. Thinking it for a second. All right, I'm going to go with my original plan. So here we go. I'm going to slide this down where I said I was. I said about right here, so I marked it. I'm just going to take this line and put it right across. Okay, right where that orange line meets this the corner, which is this blue line here. I'm going to make a line connecting to the point of the pyramid. The reason we do that is because this plane that goes on a diagonal in this direction is basically the vanishing point for that entire plane, almost like 1 point perspective, if you've ever studied 1 point perspective. So I'm going to put the tip of my pencil right at that point. I'm going to take my ruler, butt it up to that tip of the pencil, and then I'm going to put the other side of the ruler at the tip. And I'm going to draw a line straight down. And as you can see, this line, and I ended it right here, because that is going to be the diagonal. This will be the diagonal that's inside of the cube. Now I'm going to run it across in this direction, but I have to slide. If you don't slide, everything gets screwed up. All right, slide. Even if it's a little tiny line that you think you can just eyeball, don't eyeball it. All right, you might not understand what is happening yet until I erase some of the lines. So I'm going to erase right here, because this is underneath the cube. And then here it's returning, it's coming back out. I'm going to erase this line because I went a little too far over that one time. Now I'm going to erase this line here because the pyramid is on top of that. So I'm just going to lighten that. And then I'm going to erase this line, this line. And when I erase, I'm just lightening it. I'm not taking it too far. All right, and then this back line, I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm just gonna lighten it a little bit just so I can see it. Now I'm going to use I could have jumped to my red, but in this case, I could probably jump to this blue because I basically have this form wedged. There's nothing else I need to do. It's done. Super easy. And then when you outline, use your ruler. Don't use this thing. This is sometimes hard to line up. And what I'm gonna do is this, I'm gonna outline the exposed part with blue. A little too far there. And once I do that, it will pop out and you'll see it a lot more clearly. And then I'm done. You can kind of see it already. And I'm resistant to erase these so much that they're gone. And I might even go back and draw those in again, because once you put the darker line in that I'm doing now, everything's kind of fades back into distance. And the dark line is what you see, and then you understand the form. If you can't understand the form and it's too confusing, then yes, by all means, lighten the line so it doesn't compete. But give yourself a little bit of time before you make that decision. Come back to it. It might not be as confusing later on. It's just when you're working, sometimes your eyes can't make things out as clearly. That's it. That's basically it. So that is the pyramid wedged on the side of this form. And that's basically it. All right, until next video.